Let's go to that.
Sure.
Let's go to
Let's do
that
that.
next. So,
Let's do
Yinka,
that
I would
next.
like you to
Yes, sir.
frame what's going on, right? So, let me start, and then I'll turn it over to you to frame it. So,
Yeah.
Nigeria is in a very precarious situation in World Cup qualifying,
Mm-hmm.
right? For whatever reason, World Cup qualifying is going to take like 18 years to complete. So, way before AFCON, Nigeria played 2 matches. Lesotho and Zimbabwe, 1 home, 1 away, 1-1 each one. And then we had a successful AFCON, as we've covered on this podcast. And then there were 2 more World Cup qualifiers. In between, there was a change in coaches from a Portuguese guy to a Nigerian legend, Finidi George. I think he won. Did he win his first 2
No, he won.
matches?
He won the first friendly game. Yeah.
First friendly.
He lost. No, he lost one. He won one.
Okay, lost. Okay.
We beat Ghana. We lost to Mali.
Okay, yes, that's true. Both of them were in Morocco, I think, Casablanca. And then
it was in Casablanca.
And then we resumed World Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, we drew 1-1 again. So that's 3 1-1s. 1-1 against South Africa. Yeah. Almost lost that. And then away to Benin in Ivory Coast, but we'll talk about that. We were beaten by Benin. First time ever, I think. 2-1.
Yeah.
So now Nigeria sits 5th. Nigeria was 5th before he took over. We're still 5th. We've lost 1 match. Like everyone ahead of us has lost 1 match. But we have won 0 and we've drawn 3. So, and then you can please take it from there and tell the people what's been happening to George Finidi.
So like you rightly said, we're languishing in 5th in the group right now with, I think 3 points. Yeah, 3 points from 4 games. So what then happened is after the game, Finidi had, he had some not too nice, discussions, interaction with the media, right? Where a lot of people felt he was a bit flippant. He was a bit irritated with the nature of the questioning, which for me is a bit understandable. But we'll talk about that briefly. Then he had a meeting with NFF on, was it a Wednesday? Last week Wednesday, I think. Yeah. And in that meeting with NFF, all the discussion was towards the fact that we're not letting you go. We're keeping you. You have your job. You have our support. That was what the discussion was about. Only for him to hear on Thursday the NFF are about to announce, or they're recruiting rather, a technical advisor that Finidi will now report to. And also that they are deducting or they're reducing his salary from the whatever amount that it was reported it was 15 million. I don't know whether that's per month or per year. I don't care. But his salary was being docked significantly. It was getting like a 70% deduction. It was going to take 30% of what he was being paid before. And he was like, I met with you guys on Wednesday and this report is coming out and it's being more or less confirmed. And if that is the case, this is utter, complete disrespect and I'm not going to take this. I'd rather resign. Which he did. People close to him have confirmed that he did. NFF have come out to say they're not aware that he resigned. But you know the way our NFF is. You know the way they do stuff. Dude has resigned. Okay? So if you ask me, was that the right thing for him to do? In my opinion, absolutely. If I were to be him, I would have done exactly the same thing. If you spend time in evaluating your coaching options and you select someone, you don't fire people after 2 games. I'm sorry. You don't. You don't fire people after 2 games. And I mean 2 official games. Yes, he's played 4 games, but it's 2 official games. So that means your recruitment was horrible. Yeah, that's what it means. And you all don't know what you're doing. That's what it is. Now, my first unpopular opinion on this topic, right? For everyone that is listening, Finidi George is not the problem.
No.
The blame for the nonsense we're going through right now falls flatly, squarely at the feet of NFF. Incompetence is reeking. It is, God, this is not how football is handled, It is not how it's done. So for you to now look at the coach and say, oh, it's your fault, you don't know what you're doing, you're firing the guy, Hell no. Finidi did some things differently from what Pesero did.
Yeah.
We both watched the game, Aki. Do you understand? Yes, he made some mistakes. Yes, he's tried some things that didn't work. But he didn't do copy and paste special.
No. Not special.
Exactly. He did his own thing.
Yeah.
And when he realized it didn't work, the second game in Benin, he actually changed it again.
Absolutely.
So that shows me that the guy at least is thinking and is learning from his mistakes. Unlike people we've had in the past, that what have they done? They've just been stubborn and they've done exactly the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So I'll let it rest now. I'll let you take this off because we then need to talk about what then happened subsequently between himself and Osimhen. But let me hear your take on this Finidi matter first.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you broke it up that way because I was going to ask you to set that up as well and then we'll talk about it all together. But I'm glad you broke it up that way. So I feel very strongly that in a nation of 237 million people, your coach has to be Nigerian. This is a non-negotiable for me, right?
Yep.
Yinka, you said something when we first started this podcast. You're like, if we're outsourcing coaching of our biggest pastime, we might as well outsource the presidency of the country. What are we doing? So for me, I would never agree. I would never agree that the solution is an unknown white man. And that's what I've been saying for the last few weeks when this has been happening.
Yeah.
It's saying the man has to be white. Go get me the best white man for the job. Do not bring me a white man that has not worked in his own country for 30 years. Stop bringing this bloody mercenaries who only work in Africa, who can't get a club job in Portugal, but they're
Anywhere
from Portugal.
else.
All right? We're not England. England is the only serious country that put a man in charge, a man who, if he was unemployed today, none of the 20 top teams in England will give him a job.
We'll take him. Yep.
So what are we talking about? Finidi was the manager of one of the top clubs in Nigeria. Finidi, in terms of just skill set alone, is probably a top 10, top 15 player to ever come out of Nigeria, maybe. All generations put together.
All generation. Yep.
Finidi is a man of very few words, but that doesn't mean he's a man of little intelligence. The man was smart. Did you see this man play? I know you've talked to me offline about what his post-career has looked like. Let's just say he's handled his business off the field as well. You never see him in any compromised positions. You never see him not taking care of his business. So this is a man who didn't play U17, U21 for Nigeria and still got to the zenith of his career, right? Yep. So I'm like, these are the kinds of people that should be running things in Nigeria. Like, we can talk about the detail, whatever, is it Amunike, is it Finidi? I don't care. Put all of them in charge. I don't care. They're better than whoever is there right now. And I looked at the last 6 managers Nigeria had, right? So, Eguavon, Amokachi, the 2 unknown white men, all of them. Only one lost his first 2 matches. It wasn't a Nigerian. It was an unknown white man. I refuse to learn these people's names. I don't care. Okay, don't even tell me the name of this white man. Because when I look at their resume, I see they haven't worked in their country for decades. Go get a job in Portugal if you're that good. Otherwise, get the F out. What are we doing? For me, look, I'm a patriot. I love that damn country. Okay? Like, this about me. And I refuse to believe that there is no Nigerian that is good enough to be the coach of our national team. This is offensive to me on so many levels. So what is most offensive to me, though, is otherwise intelligent people that I know are saying, go get a white man. And the joke, when I try to explain to Americans how racism works in Africa, because they're like, what do you mean there's racism in Africa? I'm like, racism is a disease of the mind. And this is the example I always give. I think I've told you this before. When I tell my American friends, I'm like, if I walked into a bank in Lagos with an Indian friend and a white friend, and we all went there to look for a loan, I will get thrown out and laughed at. The Indian guy will get a loan, and the bank will ask the white man if he would like to make an offer to buy the bank. That's racism in Africa. That's how it works. Because our own friends think a white man should get the job. For what?
Yeah.
Not Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Not even a washed up Jose Mourinho. But no, Pesero, because it was Jose Mourinho's friend. You know how many friends Mourinho has? You think Mourinho remembers this guy? My daughter watches this, so don't let me cuss. I need to stop talking before I start cussing. I'm heated right now. Go ahead, Yinka. Just lay out the Osimhen
but,
thing.
but before I move on to your cement thing, just so people know, right? The people that are causing this mayhem, they've set up that coaching role as the scapegoat role. You never hear of them. If I ask people now, who is the NFF chairman? A lot of people don't know.
Don't care.
Precisely my point. These are the people making these decisions, right? How can you wake up and just sack someone after 2 games? Or rather, not even sack. You wake up, right? You get a technical advisor, you agree that you're going to get a technical advisor, and you demote the guy. See, like I told you, Finidi, for those that don't know, Finidi is solid financially. He's okay. He's not doing this job because he needs to eat or he needs the job. He's doing it, guys, he's doing it for fun. Let me just put it that way, right? He's doing it passion. He loves the country. That is why he's even in Nigeria. That is why he's humble enough to coach Eyimba, because people of his pedigree will not do that. He's humble, he's quiet, but he knows, like one of our big bros said, he said, if you need in a man, you be. Because he senses the disrespect and he's like, I'm not taking this nonsense from you guys. That's exactly what it is. Which other coaches might have taken. You know? Other coaches might have accepted, oh, okay, I'll be the assistant coach. No, it's like, no, I'm not doing this nonsense. I'm not doing this with you guys.
If we must, the best technical advisor Nigeria has ever had was a Nigerian. It was Austin Eguavoen.
Yes.
That's the best technical advisor Nigeria has ever had. That's the only man I've seen articulate what is the Nigerian way of playing football. I've seen Westerhoff try to, but
Westerhoff learned.
Yeah,
Westerhoff learned. Eventually, exactly.
After we got disgraced by friggin' Algeria, 5-1.
Another good coach we have is Samson Siasia, but unfortunately, he was caught up in the FIFA storm of age, blah blah blah. So I think his ban is ending in a year or 2. I know people might have a problem with bringing him back. I don't. As long as he's Nigerian, frankly, that is my.
Yinka, since the golden era, right? Since the golden era, we've had flashes, right? I'm not gonna count any team that Okocha was on, because Okocha covered, he papered over the cracks for so long. I mean, he was playing with guys like John Utaka. I mean, come on, give me a break, right? You know, so all those bronzes that we won with Okocha should have been first round exits at AFCON. Okay. Those were personal bronzes of Okocha, where he dragged a terrible team to the semifinals because it was that good. Right? Nigeria has not been good.
You can even add the silver in 2002, the one we lost to Cameroon in.
Absolutely.
You can add that too. That was Okocha's tournament. He dragged Nigeria to that final.
But once we get out of the Okocha era, the only times, in my opinion, that we've played anything remotely close to good football was Siasia's Olympic team in 2008.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it for me. That guy was doing things that Pep Guardiola is doing today. He was doing it in 2008. He was doing it before Pep got Messi, before Pep got the Barcelona job. Siasia is an extremely intelligent person, but we don't see it because he's not an unknown white man. Okay, the only other time I saw it was Stephen Keshi's team in 2013.
Keshi team that won the Nations Cup
in 2013, where he reimagined the Mikel role. Mikel didn't even know who he was anymore. And then you look at the kinds of players he put in that midfield. They didn't go on to do anything. They weren't great. But the man knew what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do. And of course, having Vincent Anyama there was helpful. I'm not going to deny that. But those are the only 2 times I can point to. And then the third time was the AFCON. That would have been what, 20... was he 19 or 21? Whatever it was. The one that we lost to Tunisia. Where we actually had a style. We didn't always have the talent, but we had a style. Those 3 flashes. So I'm like, the best Nigeria we've seen have been under Nigerians. Not under unknown Portuguese people that I've never heard of. This is not 1429. Why are we rolling out the red carpet for these people?
It's crazy. But that's where we are. So we don't have a coach right now. I'm guessing NFF, after the Salah break, they will confirm that Finidi has resigned. And they will tell us what they intend to do, which Ukrainian or Slovenian they want to bring in.
Oh my
To
gosh.
come and be the technical advisor for our Super Eagles.
Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the notifications button so you don't miss any of our content.
And please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms.